Hey guys, welcome back to the Real Southern Garden. I have little Miss Adeline Rose here with me today. Say hello. Yeah, she's gonna help me a little bit. She likes to hang out in her stroller while Mama gardens, right? That's right. Yeah, it's a good smile. Yeah, it's beautiful weather. It has been beautiful weather for quite a while, just really dry. It's like 80 something degrees today. And we are going to work on this rose bed that's right behind me. I've added a few new roses to it. I just need to weed it and get it mulched and get the mulch bag out of the middle of the walkway. Been really busy, as you know, as we all are. And yeah, so this morning, just on our little drive around the neighborhood this morning, on the way to my daughter's dance class, we noticed that the cherry trees are blooming. And then I have gardener friends that have hydrangeas blooming. And I have my roses are about to really put on a tremendous fall flush that's a little more than they usually do. So I think everything thinks it's spring, but it's not. So we're going to get this bed ready for the season ahead. I want to show you what I do have here. I have a begonia, obviously. I'll show you close-ups later, but Tatin or Tatin Portus Rose does great in warm climates. I know because I've grown her for 4 years. This one is a new one, Portlandia. I think it's a week's rose. I need to double check. I forget the breeder for that one. Haven't tried it yet here. Excited to see how she does. She's super fragrant. Could be like 8 feet tall. She's classified as a shrub, but she kind of grows like a climber. So that one's going to be interesting. And then I have Sunbelt South Africa right here. We have a mulch bag here. And Sunbelt Plum Perfect. These are new ones for me. I know from other people that they do really well in our climate. So we're going to see how they do for me. And then I have Blush Noisette here, which is of course, old rose way back 1845. This one does great for me. And Iceberg. Iceberg's dicey, but I keep her anyway. And so, yeah, we're going to get this bed looking fantastic and get going. Are you ready? Are you excited? All right, let's get started. So just a little word to the wise. If you plant monkey grass, you're probably going to have it forever. So when we first moved into this property, a lot of these beds were just overrun with monkey grass. We have it growing in our lawn too. And I was like, I'm going to get rid of all of it. I've tried. It's really, really hard. You have to like dig down and pop it all out. Even when you do that, somehow there's still some that remains. So now I kind of work with it a little bit in my flower bed. I have some of it here and there and it doesn't bother me. Just want to let you know that if you ever plant monkey grass, be careful because you will probably have it forever if you do. So another thing I want to point out is that when we bought this property, there's a lot of slopes here. There's a lot of slopes in just flower beds in general. This whole flower bed behind me, actually, sorry, I'm looking at my daughter playing with the neighbors across the way. Anyway, this whole flower bed behind me just slopes. And obviously, like, we could level it, right? But that would be quite expensive. So we'd have to level this whole entire area back here. And that's just not the topography of North Georgia. It's just not. So you learn to work with it. I've not had any trouble gardening on a slope, especially a gentle grade like this. I've got roses here. They're happy. My back rose garden slopes as well. I've had no problems with drainage or water or anything like that. So, my point is, we even have some tree stumps in this flower bed that we still want to grind. We haven't got to it yet. There's been almost 30, probably 30 or 40 trees we've taken out of flower beds. Different sizes, obviously. These are pretty big. Roots that we've had to deal with, rocks, you name it. And we're going to get to these and grind them eventually. But until we do, we're working around it. And that's what we do here. And that's why I call my channel The Real Southern Garden, because we are real. We are not perfect. Nothing here is perfect. It's always a changing, dynamic landscape. And that's the way I like it. It's the journey. It's fun. It's exciting. It's never going to be perfect, but it's always going to be fulfilling. And you're always going to learn something from it. And I think that's what gardening's about. It's what life is about, I think. Anyway, but this is just a reminder to don't worry about being completely perfect. Just worry about enjoying what you're doing and having something that you're proud of, and the fact that you're putting in the work and you're trying every day. I think that's the key. So don't let those tree stumps and roots get you down. So we're so close to being done with this bed. But another funny story is that we thought a couple of years ago, we're like, the tree trimmer guys were out in our county trimming all the trees, and we're like, we'll get some of their mulch and we'll just use it and it'll save us a ton. And we got a giant mulch pile delivered on the side of our property down there. I'll have to show you a shot of that. It's been there for 2 years now. What we didn't think about was the fact that dragging it uphill on our property in wheelbarrows was going to be traumatic, okay? Like acres in a wheelbarrow. What we soon realized is that we would need a tractor if we were going to do that. We did do mini wheelbarrows, but we obviously couldn't do all of it and complete all the beds with just that mulch. So we're still using it, but you get tired after 5, 6, 7 wheelbarrow rolls up and down the hill. Hills, once again, hills can give you trouble. So we still like to use, of course, the store-bought mulch too, and we do borrow. We've got 2 wonderful neighbors with tractors, so we really don't need to buy our own because they let us use theirs. But anyway, just a little funny story there. So let's see how it looks. There is nothing like fresh mulch, in my opinion. It's just dresses everything up. I've always loved the way it is, the way it looks, sorry. Super cool. Not bad for a quick little cleanup for fall. I'm not quite as picky We need to edge this sidewalk, by the way. It's on our to-do list. That's one thing about a large property that people don't realize, and that I don't think I even realized till I lived on one, is that it's a lot easier, obviously, to make a small space look great. It's a lot harder to have a lot of impact in a large property because there's so many spaces. So it really takes some time to see what works for you. Thank you guys so much for joining me today while I mulch this bed. And I'm actually pretty shocked I was able to do it all consecutively. The baby was totally happy being out here, and it's always a win when I can get a project completed. Thank you so much. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and we will see you next time right here on The Real Southern Garden.